Gary Gensler's plan is in play. Let's go see the playbook today. Yeah, Gary. Yeah. Thanks. Yeah, you too. Yep. Bye. Who wants to talk to that bozo when we can figure out on the back end what he's trying to do to the cryptocurrency market today on OG Crypto and NFTs? Welcome. My name is Troy, and every day we go over the latest news in cryptocurrencies, blockchain technology, and NFTs, non-fungible tokens. So before we jump into it, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. Oh yeah, I tried to fake her out. I thought I was gonna say like. She said, okay, got it. All right, let's jump right into it. We are finding so much news on crypto Twitter. It is crazy. Here's Guru, as Watcher Guru. It says, just in, Citadel, Fidelity, Charles Schwab launched new crypto exchange platform, EDX Markets. Well, let's go into this and see the next one. It says crypto exchange backed by Citadel Securities, Fidelity, Schwab starts operation. So what's happening is EDX Markets won't directly handle customers' digital assets or directly serve individual investors. What they're going to do is they're an exchange for these bigger companies out there. So somewhere down the road, this is already up, when they're able to buy, when regulations are in place, these companies will be able to buy crypto immediately. Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, go down the list, all of them, Polygon, which is Matic, ADA off Cardano. They want to be able to buy them immediately and then start to use them. Now, I told you my theory already, okay? This all has been going on for the last 4 or 5 years. It's all connected back to Ethereum, and I definitely think it's connected into China, but that's for another day. The conspiracy theory that I have here is that we see all these companies are just about ready to get into it. We just saw that, BlackRock is going to actually offer these cryptocurrencies to their clients. We also saw, Fidelity doing it yesterday. Now, I have a feeling that somewhere down the road, and I do have that feeling, that we're going to see the Fed pivot. Yes, and you're like, God, what does the Fed have to do with any of this? When the Fed pivots, they will start lowering because they hurt the market so much. When they start lowering rates, the euphoria comes into the market. So we're gonna see a little pump here that's gonna happen. Right now, it's probably gonna start today, but it's gonna happen in the next 30, 60 days. Once you see that euphoria and you see that the Fed starts dropping rates, then we're gonna see the bottom fall out of all of this. Now, what does that mean? I think the stock market's going to dump. I absolutely think that at that point, Mt. Gox is going to release their Bitcoin, and then the federal government's going to release their Bitcoin, and they're going to dump on this market and retail hard. So we're going to see altcoins and Bitcoin just get crushed. 20, 30%, if not 50, 60%, depends on the severity of it. And at that point, these companies, these big financial companies, Citadel, BlackRock, Fidelity, Schwab, and in a minute we're going to see Deutsche Bank. They're going to come in and they're going to scoop this up like no other, and they're going to take control of the market, and that's where they get in at that entry point, way low. At that point, it creates FOMO, and then here comes retail. I'm coming back. After you just beat me down, all the people come right back, rolling back in, and that's where the real crypto market for the next 100 years are going to be. And it's all going to come down within this 2023 is going to go down as a year in which all the major companies come in and scoop up at a very, very low rate. Then they're going to adopt it like crazy, and they're going to utilize it in their businesses, and they're going to offer it to all of their clients, and the stock market's going to be so bad that it makes sense to at least put 5% of people's portfolio into cryptocurrencies, if not up to 20%, into this sector. As that's exactly what Mr. Wonderful Kevin O'Leary says. If it's a good sector, 20% of your portfolio goes into it. All right, let's jump into the next. Deutsche Bank applies for crypto custody license. crazy. You see poly signs out there. You saw Medico was bought by Ripple, and now Deutsche Bank is trying to be a custodian. What a custodian is that when they offer these cryptocurrencies to their clients, well, they'll have a third party holding it, which is a holding company, and they will hold it for you while you get paid probably some type of yield by Deutsche Bank for that. So that's what crypto custody licenses is for. We're seeing Deutsche Bank and all these major banks are becoming more and more involved. All right, let's jump on. Big news today. IMF and BIS came out and said, hey, distributed ledger technology, private ledgers, they're the game changers that are going to be out there. So they're saying unified ledgers for CBDCs, tokenized assets could be enhanced. Global financial systems, BIS said, well, the IMF came out as well. It says this will be a game changer in how we think about money and how transactions take place, as central bank group's head of research, Hyun Song Shin. Well, what is this? I mean, come on, guys. If you're out there and you're part of Ripple, this just smells of Ripple. Completely smells of it. CBDCs, they are the leading cryptocurrency out there for CBDCs. That's XRP. Ripple is the leading company to bring CBDCs out. Now, a lot of you out there going, I hate CBDCs. They're the devil, whatever. As long they can be used for good, they can be used for bad, but there's no stopping them. So it doesn't matter whatever you think about them, you have to embrace them. And then instead of fighting it, then you want to be an advocate for their use case. And every single country is going to use it differently. This is important. Now, the article goes on to say it can be several different types of ledgers that are out there, but there's no ledger out there that is secure, that is inexpensive, and has lasted long as XRP, the XRP ledger. I don't think there's any chance it could be anything else, because anything else is not going to be able to efficiently do any kind of cross CBDC platforms and make it cheap, fast, and inexpensive. All right, let's jump into it. Who's the next out there to fall? It's the Federal Reserve's Fed Now program. Guys, the next theory is that by July 1st, Fed Now launch, that the Ripple SEC lawsuit will be over. Why? Well, first of all, Fed Now and the Fed government, the Fed has talked about Ripple over and over and over, and they've talked about the usage of XRP. Okay, how can Ripple be in a lawsuit yet the Fed is talking about them as it being the #1 cross-border payment company in the world? Doesn't make any sense. Let's read this. It says, interestingly, the U.S. Federal Reserve has proclaimed the commencement of FedNow services operation July 2023. This service will enable instant payment services provided by financial institutions across the United States, functioning 24/7, 365 days a year. Notably among the banks enlisted in July 1st launch are 3 Ripple partner banks, Finastra, Volante Technologies, and ACI Worldwide. Guys, how is the Fed going to be utilizing these companies? And they've talked about Finastra and Volante significantly, as they're going to be significant partners in this. And they're utilizing the on-demand liquidity and the XRPL. This is crazy to think about. What is happening out there? You know, the U.S. Treasury and FINRA already says that Ripple or XRP is a cryptocurrency. The SEC is saying it's not a cryptocurrency. Anything that's a currency is not a security. The U.S. dollar is not a security. USDT, cryptocurrency based on the dollar, is not a currency. It's not a security. So because they're all not securities, how do you do this? This makes no sense. This just shows that the SEC is delaying the inevitable because they're allowing their other partners, and we just went over them, right? We just went over them, that to catch up and be in a position to scoop the market up before the absolute disruption of these technologies hit the market and then explode and have a whole new category out there, the 13th category of the financial of the markets. Period. 13th sector of the markets. All right, let's go here. Stuart Alderati. So as we just kind of transition in the XRP or the Ripple SEC case, we did find that, as we continue to look through all the documents, including the Hinman emails and the Hinman deposition, that Bill Hinman obviously was never expecting the Hinman emails to go out. He blatantly lied about every bit of it. He said that he had no market maker. He did not reach out to anybody that made his decision on why he decided Ethereum was going to have a free pass. When we find out that he specifically said that he is going to now make a phone call to Vitalik to figure out what he felt was why Ethereum was going to had a free pass. Doesn't make any sense. In his deposition, they also met with Joe Lubin and Consensus over and over and over again. So, and we know that Perkins Coie, one of their lawyers, absolutely wrote up the Hinman speech. He even comes out and says it. Again, that lawyer, and I don't recall off the top of my head who he is. He said it again in February of this year, that he met face to face with Bill Hinman and that they went over what they were going to talk about in the speech he wrote. Now, Hinman says that yes, he did meet with that lawyer, but he doesn't remember anything that was going on with what they talked about, what they did. Obviously, he's lying again. He also was pressed upon, when he talked to Joe Lubin and Consensus, he did admit that Consensus did tell him how much they owned of Ethereum, because that would make a big difference on whether it was decentralized or not. How much did the Consensus or the EEA, Ethereum Alliance, owned? But he doesn't quite remember, but he says it wasn't that much. And so when pressed, he said not too much meant that it was less than 30 to 40%. Wow. Are you kidding me? We can't get anything. We can't get any transparency out of Ethereum Alliance, out of Vitalik, out of Joe Lubin, all. And of course, Joe Lubin's being sued right now by other Ethereum Alliance holders, because he sold off all his technology off to JP Morgan, another one that was involved. We're still trying to figure out who the whales that are out there that were purchasing huge amounts of Ethereum at the ICO that still sit there and their wallets have not been touched, because that can show that the alliance, the Ethereum Alliance or Consensus, owns a significant amount of this and that they are centralized, no question about it. All right, let's jump in. The last thing here, this will be our NFT section. Nike hints at NFT integration with Fortnite game. Holy shnikes, this is huge. Let's bring in Emi. How are you doing, Emi?
I'm good, how are you?
I am doing fantastic. So talk to us.
This is pretty wild. So this is going to begin on June 20th, so today. And it was recently announced a couple days ago on the 16th. So they're calling this the Ultimate Sneaker Hunt, and this is featuring a logo from Fortnite's Air Max. So they're hinting at that these could be a shoe inspired from these Fortnite game characters and created into the Air Max. This is really interesting. I was watching the teaser video right here, which I'll play for you guys in just a sec. Their slogan they're going with this is Airphoria. I think, having to do with the Air Max, which is such like a cult classic shoe. So I'm really curious to see how this is gonna go, and I will play this video for you guys real quick. This logo here is what was making everyone freak out, because it is from their .swoosh, the Nike online stuff that they have been doing. So this is kind of crazy. I'm curious where they're going to go with it and how it's going to be recepted by the public.
Well, I think it's going to be, I think that for collectors, it's going to be there. I think gamers are still a little ways out, but I think that the gaming community is slowly coming around. I think they've been, the whole anti-NFT movement has been out there for some time. Embrace it or get left behind. That's always going to be my slogan. You're gonna find that. But I mean, right now, again, this is first steps of utility of the gaming industry.
Yeah, this definitely brings to mind. I saw a video of someone who was a sneaker collector, and they had a pair of really rare, I want to say it was like Air Force Ones that they had never worn, that they kept in like the wrapping and saved for who knows how many years.
Yeah.
And then one day they took them out of the wrapping and they went to put them on, and they like kind of disintegrated and started falling apart. So I can see what you mean when it comes to the collector mindset, that this is something that you could have forever and ever and ever and would never deteriorate. So,
well, I mean, Air Jordans, come on. There's a thriving collector, community out there, and they go for big money. The original Air Jordans. I mean, I went to Portland, and there is a big, huge Nike store there, and they have like the original Jordans there. They have all the evolution. I mean, in that case, were millions of dollars worth of Nikes. So great. I mean, we're seeing this happen. It's integrating with Fortnite, which is gamers that are out there, and we're going to see again the adoption of NFTs. We can say this every single day, continues to take leaps and bounds forward. There's not small steps anymore.
Agreed. Yeah.
Well, guys, thank you very much for joining us today. Crypto has a craziness to it on a daily basis. There's so much going on. We appreciate you watching us, and we will see you tomorrow.
Bye.